Welcome to Holy Histories. If you love captivating Bible stories that bring the scriptures to life, then you're in the right place. Today, we're taking a journey back to the very beginning, the story of creation. But before we dive in, take a moment to hit that like button, share this video, and subscribe to our channel for more amazing content like this. Ever wondered why the stars shine so bright, or why the rhythm of day and night never falters? Have you ever pondered the origins of the mountains, the seas, and the life that teems all around us? The answers to these profound questions are found in the very first pages of the Bible, in a story that transcends time and space. It's a tale of divine power, breathtaking beauty, and purposeful design, the story of how God created the world. In the beginning, the universe was a void, a formless expanse cloaked in darkness. But then, with a simple yet powerful command, "Let there be light," everything changed. This is the account of how order emerges from chaos, how life sprang from the void, and how humanity was crafted in the image of the Creator. Join me as we journey through the 6 days of creation, unveiling the magnificent tapestry of our world's origins and discovering the timeless significance it holds for us today. Genesis 1 verse 1 says, "In the beginning, God." The word God in this context in Hebrew is Elohim, which is in plural form. The im, while single, is Eloha. God here, as used in verse 1, is plural. Why was God introduced in plural form? It simply means that the revelation of God to us is not one. Let us. Who was he referring to? The beginning of anything is always referential. God himself is a mystery. He is self-sufficient. God exists, and he exists all by himself. In this verse, however, we see God in the dimension of interrelationship. In creation, we are equal. However, in responsibilities, we are not. There is an arrangement, and in that arrangement, everyone is subject to each other. That is why God, as we would later see in this story, put man as the head of creation. God is also referred to as Abba, which means source, and because God is the source of all things, everything that was created, he gave life, and he is the source of it all. In verse 2, the Bible says, "Now the earth was formless and empty." Please note that verse 2 isn't a continuation of verse 1. I would explain this. Isaiah 45 verse 18 says, "For this is what the Lord says, He who created the heavens, He is God. He who fashioned and made the earth, He founded it. He did not create it to be empty, but formed it to be inhabited. He says, I am the Lord, and there is no other." Jeremiah 4 verse 23 to 26 also explains that the earth was back to pre-Genesis chaos and emptiness. Verse 26 says, "I looked, and the fruitful land was a desert. All its towns lay in ruins before the Lord, before his fierce anger." This simply gives us an understanding that the earth was created beautifully in verse 1 before the anger of God. You can read 2 Peter 3 verse 5 to 7 in your personal study to further gain more understanding. In verses 3 to 5, the form of darkness on the earth was not a natural darkness, but a supernatural darkness. It was a spiritual day, the first day of creation, as described in the Bible. The verses set the foundation for the rest of the creation process. The earth is described as formless and empty, a void with darkness covering the surface of the deep. This suggests a state of chaos and unformed potential. The Spirit of God is present, hovering over the waters, indicating divine anticipation and readiness to begin the work of creation. God initiates the creation process with a command, "Let there be light." This phrase marks the first of many divine commands that bring various elements of the universe into existence. In response to God's command, light appears. This light made the darkness that previously enveloped the earth vanish. The entrance of light makes darkness evaporate automatically. The introduction of light is a pivotal moment, signifying the beginning of order and structure in the universe. When God observes that the light is good, he then separates the light from the darkness. This act of separation creates a clear distinction between day and night, introducing the concept of time through the cycles of light and darkness. He, God, names the light day and the darkness night. Naming is a significant act because it denotes authority and control over creation. By naming these elements, God establishes their roles and functions in the newly forming world. The phrase, "And there was evening, and there was morning the first day," indicates the completion of the first day of creation. This cycle of evening and morning establishes the pattern of days that will continue throughout the creation narrative. Looking through the order of creation on the first day, we could see God's introduction of order first by the appearance of light and its separation from darkness, which represents the initial step from chaos to order. This foundational act sets the stage for further structuring of the universe. The next is the concept of time, which God created by creating day and night. He, God, introduces the concept of time, which is essential for the functioning of the universe and the lives of all creatures that will inhabit it. Another is divine authority. God's ability to command light into existence and to name and separate light from darkness demonstrates his supreme authority and power over creation. Divine authority is followed by the goodness of creation. God's declaration that the light is good affirms the inherent goodness of creation. This theme of goodness recurs throughout the creation narrative, emphasizing that the world was created with purpose and benevolence. The first day of creation is crucial as it initiates the transformation of the cosmos from formlessness and emptiness into a structured, purposeful creation. It highlights the power of God's word, the establishment of fundamental elements of existence, and the beginning of the orderly process that defines the biblical creation story. On the second day, which is verse 6, God creates the sky by commanding, "Let there be a vault of the sky, and separate the waters, and let it separate the waters below the expanse from the waters above the expanse." And God made the expanse of sky, and separated the waters that were under the expanse from the waters that were above the expanse. And it was so, just as he commanded. God called the expanse of the sky heaven. And there was evening, and there was morning, a second day. After being born again, one thing God does is separate voices from the man, a believer. In this context, believers can represent voices. There, however, must be a dimension of the one that matters, God. Once we can separate voices, we can create as men. There is a creative voice to create things in the Spirit. God creates things and preserves them through His Word. Can we recognize the voice of God? The verse talks about water above and water beneath. God's resources goes where His voice goes. It is important to follow the voice of God as believers. This command sets the stage for the creation of the sky, or firmament. In response to God's command, an expanse is created. This expanse is often interpreted as the atmosphere or the space between the Earth's surface and the heavens above. It serves to separate the waters below, such as oceans, lakes, and rivers, from the waters above, potentially referring to a celestial body of water or atmospheric moisture. God names the expanse sky, or heavens. This naming act establishes the purpose and identity of the newly created expanse, distinguishing it as the domain above the earth where celestial bodies reside. As with each day of creation, the completion of the second day is marked by the cycle of evening and morning. This pattern emphasizes the structured progression of the creative process, with each day culminating in a period of rest before the next phase of creation begins. Day 2 also continues the process of organizing the chaotic primordial waters, bringing clarity and separation between the realms of earth and sky. This separation introduces a sense of order and distinction in the universe. The creation of the firmament or sky sets the stage for the development of the Earth's atmosphere, which plays a crucial role in sustaining life by providing air to breathe, regulating temperature, and shielding the planet from harmful radiation. Naming the sky reaffirms God's authority as the creator and sustainer of the universe. By assigning names to his creations, God asserts his dominion over the elements and establishes their purpose within his divine plan. The second day of the creation story illustrates God's deliberate and purposeful actions in shaping the world, demonstrating his wisdom, creativity, and care for his creation. As the sun rises on the third day of creation, anticipation fills the air. The earth, once shrouded in darkness and formlessness, now awaits the next act of divine craftsmanship. Have you ever thought of how the land beneath our feet and the vast oceans that stretch to the horizon came to be? Day 3 of the creation story holds the answer, a tale of separation, abundance, and the flourishing of life. On this pivotal day, the waters that covered the surface of the earth are gathered together, revealing dry ground for the first time. Imagine the sight of continents and coastlines emerging from the depths, sculpted by the hand of the Creator. But the drama doesn't end there. With a word, God commands the earth to burst forth with vegetation, plants, trees, and flowers of every kind. It's a symphony of color and life, painting the landscape with vibrant hues and filling the air with the sweet fragrance of creation. It's a story of divine abundance and provision, a testament to the Creator's boundless creativity and care for his creation. God speaks, saying, "Let the waters under the sky be gathered to one place, and let dry ground appear." In response to God's command, the waters under the sky are gathered together, and dry ground emerges. This marks the creation of land and the division between land and sea. God calls the dry ground land and the gathered waters seas. This act of naming establishes the identity and purpose of each element, distinguishing between the different parts of the newly formed earth. God further adorns the land by commanding, "Let the land produce vegetation, seed-bearing plants and trees on the land that bear fruit with seed in it, according to their various kinds." The earth responds, bringing forth a rich array of plants, trees, and vegetation. God sees all that he has made, and he declares it to be good. The emergence of land, seas, and vegetation demonstrates God's creative power and his provision for life on earth. After completing the work of the third day, God looked upon all that he had made and declared it to be good. The creation of land, seas, and vegetation showcased God's wisdom, creativity, and provision for life on earth. It affirmed the inherent value and beauty of the natural world, underscoring God's desire for harmony and abundance in his creation. Day 3 laid the foundation for diverse ecosystems to thrive on Earth, providing habitats for a multitude of plants and animals. The creation of vegetation ensured a sustainable source of food, oxygen, and resources essential for the survival of all living beings. God's ability to bring order and beauty out of chaos, demonstrating his sovereignty over the natural world. The third day of the creation story emphasizes the richness and diversity of God's creation, illustrating his profound care and provision for the earth and all its inhabitants. Let's move to the fourth day. As the dawn breaks on the fourth day of creation, the stage is set for a celestial spectacle like no other. Picture the earth suspended in the vast expanse of space, bathed in the soft glow of morning light. But something extraordinary is about to unfold. The heavens themselves are poised to come alive with the dance of stars, the shimmer of planets, and the radiant brilliance of the sun and moon. Day 4 of the creation story marks a pivotal moment in the cosmic narrative, where the celestial bodies take center stage in the grand symphony of creation. From the fiery furnace of the sun to the gentle glow of the moon, each heavenly body plays its part in the intricate choreography of the universe. The journey through this awe-inspiring day can be described as where the heavens declare the glory of the Creator and illuminate the path for all life on earth. God speaks, saying, "Let there be lights in the vault of the sky to separate the day from the night, and let them serve as signs to mark sacred times and days and years." In response to God's command, the celestial bodies are formed. The greater light, known as the sun, is created to govern the day, providing warmth, light, and energy to sustain life on earth. The lesser light, the moon, is formed to govern the night, casting its gentle glow and guiding travelers by its light. Additionally, God creates the stars, scattering them across the night sky in a dazzling display of beauty and wonder. God assigns specific roles to the sun, moon, and stars. They are to serve as signs to mark the passage of time, days, nights, seasons, and years. The movement of the celestial bodies becomes a celestial clock, guiding the rhythms of life on earth and serving as a testament to the Creator's wisdom and foresight. Day 4 establishes the celestial bodies as markers of time, guiding the rhythms of life on earth and facilitating navigation and agriculture. The creation of the sun, moon, and stars adds a majestic backdrop to the earth's beauty, inspiring awe and wonder in the hearts of humanity. The precise placement and function of the celestial bodies reflect God's order and purpose in creation, showcasing His wisdom and foresight. This fourth day of creation story celebrates the majesty and beauty of the heavens, highlighting the essential role of the celestial bodies in sustaining life on earth and guiding humanity in their journey through the globe. God sees all that He has made, and He declares it to be good. There is a sense of knowing, sense of perception on the fourth day of creation. The creation of the celestial bodies completes the global landscape, adding a majestic backdrop to the earth's beauty and providing essential light and guidance for all living creatures. The phrase, "God saw," can be interpreted literally as a form of divine visual observation. God perceives the sun, moon, and stars with their intended purpose to give light to the earth, to mark seasons, days, and years. Perception in this context refers to the immediate awareness and recognition of the created entities by God. It involves the divine act of observing and acknowledging the existence and condition of what has been created. This perception isn't just passive observation, but involves an evaluation. When God perceives His creation, He also assesses its quality and purpose. Knowing in this context also goes beyond mere perception and involves a deeper, more comprehensive understanding. God's knowing implies an omniscient awareness of the created order. God understands the intricate details of the cosmos, the physical laws governing celestial bodies, and their impact on the earth. God's knowing also encompasses the purposes for which the sun, moon, and stars were created. He knows their roles in regulating time, providing light, and serving as signs for seasons and human navigation. When God saw that it was good, this indicates a moral and aesthetic judgment. Knowing here includes recognizing the goodness, harmony, and suitability of the created things within the broader context of creation. The act of God seeing and declaring the creation good integrates both perception and knowing. This dual aspect shows that God's declaration of good is not a superficial statement, but a profound acknowledgement rooted in His omniscient awareness. The celestial bodies are good not just because they function correctly, but also because they fulfill the divine purpose and contribute to the overall harmony of creation. This dual aspect shows that God's declaration of good is not a superficial statement, but a profound acknowledgement rooted in his omniscient awareness. The celestial bodies are good, not just because they function correctly, but also because they fulfill the divine purpose and contribute to the overall harmony of creation. On the fourth day of creation, the sense of perception involves God's immediate and evaluative observation of the celestial bodies, while the sense of knowing involves his deep understanding and affirmation of their goodness and purpose within the created order. As the curtain rises on the fifth day of creation, the world is poised for a new burst of life and energy. Imagine the serene beauty of the newly formed seas and skies, now ready to be filled with movement and sound. The stage is set for an extraordinary spectacle as the waters come alive with the splashing of fish and the skies are filled with the fluttering of wings. Day 5 marks the beginning of a vibrant symphony of life, where the Creator's touch brings forth a dazzling array of creatures to inhabit the seas and the heavens. God commands, saying, "Let the water teem with living creatures, and let birds fly above the earth across the vault of the sky." In response to God's command, the waters are filled with an abundance of living creatures, from the smallest fish to the great sea monsters. Simultaneously, birds of every kind take to the skies, their wings filling the heavens with grace and beauty. He blesses the newly created sea creatures and birds, saying, "Be fruitful and increase in number, and fill the water in the seas, and let the birds increase on the earth." This blessing ensures the proliferation and diversity of marine and airborne life, allowing ecosystems to thrive and sustain themselves. God sees all that he has made, and he declares it to be good. The creation of sea creatures and birds completes this phase of the creation process, adding dynamic life forms to the Earth's waters and skies. This day marks the introduction of a rich diversity of life forms in the seas and skies. This biodiversity is essential for the health and stability of ecosystems, providing various functions such as food chains, pollination, and environmental balance. The creation of sea creatures and birds introduces dynamic, moving life forms that interact with their environments in complex ways. These interactions are crucial for nutrient cycling, habitat formation, and the overall functioning of ecosystems. God's blessing of the creatures highlights his care and provision for his creation. By instructing them to be fruitful and multiply, God ensures the continuity and flourishing of life on earth. On day 5 of the creation story, it celebrates the Creator's ability to fill the world with abundant and diverse life. It underscores the importance of biodiversity, the interconnectedness of ecosystems, and God's ongoing care and provision for his creation. As the dawn of the sixth day breaks, the stage is set for the grand finale of the creation narrative. The earth, now teeming with plant life, bustling seas, and vibrant skies, is ready to welcome the final and most complex forms of life. Ever wondered how the majestic lions of the savanna, the graceful deer of the forest, and ultimately humanity itself came into being? Day 6 holds the answers, revealing the culmination of God's creative work and his intricate design for life on earth. On the sixth day, God gave a command saying, "Let the land produce living creatures according to their kinds, the livestock, the creatures that move along the ground, and the wild animals, each according to its kind." In response to God's command, the earth brings forth a multitude of living creatures. These include livestock, domesticated animals, creatures that move along the ground, such as insects and reptiles, and wild animals, such as lions, bears, and deer. God then says, "Let us make mankind in our image, in our likeness, so that they may rule over the fish in the sea and the birds in the sky, over the livestock and all the wild animals, and over all the creatures that move along the ground." God creates mankind in his own image, creating both male and female. He blesses them and says to them, "Be fruitful and increase in number. Fill the earth and subdue it. Rule over the fish in the sea and the birds in the sky, and over every living creature that moves on the ground." God provides food for all his creatures, stating that every green plant is given for food to the animals and humans, and when he sees all that he has made, he declares it to be very good. The sixth day concludes with the evening and morning cycle, marking the completion of the creation process. The pinnacle of day 6 is the creation of mankind. Unlike other creatures, humans are made in the image and likeness of God, signifying a unique relationship with the Creator. This divine image endows humans with qualities such as rationality, creativity, moral capacity, and the ability to form relationships. God blesses humans, instructing them to be fruitful, multiply, and fill the earth. He also grants them dominion over all other creatures, entrusting them with the responsibility to steward and care for creation. This stewardship includes managing natural resources, preserving the environment, and maintaining the balance of ecosystems. God further provides food for all living beings, designating every green plant as sustenance. This provision underscores God's care and foresight in ensuring that all creatures have the means to survive and thrive. After creating humanity and providing for all creatures, he reviews his work and declares it to be very good. This affirmation reflects the completeness and perfection of creation, with each element fulfilling its intended purpose. It is noted that day 6 introduces a rich diversity of land animals, each playing a vital role in the Earth's ecosystems. These animals contribute to the balance and health of the environment, participating in complex food webs and ecological processes. We can say again that the creation of humans in God's image is a defining moment. It establishes humanity's unique role and purpose in creation, highlighting the capacity for relationships, moral decisions, and creative expression. Being made in God's image also implies a call to reflect his character in how we live and interact with the world. God's mandate to humans is to fill the earth and subdue. It emphasizes stewardship and responsibility. Humans are called to manage and care for the natural world, ensuring that all life can flourish. This role involves ethical and sustainable practices that honor God's creation. The aspect of God making provision of food for all creatures illustrates God's comprehensive care. It highlights the interdependence of life forms and the need for humans to recognize and respect the delicate balance of nature. This sixth day of the creation story is a powerful reminder of the interconnectedness of all life, the unique role of humanity, and the importance of stewardship. It calls us to reflect on our relationship with the Creator and the responsibility we have to care for his creation. After 6 days of dynamic creativity, filled with the birth of light, land, seas, sky, vegetation, animals, and humanity, the cosmos reaches a profound moment of stillness. Have you ever wondered about the true reason we observe a day of rest? Why we pause from our busy lives to find peace and reflection? The answer lies in the 7th day of the creation story, a day that holds deep significance and resonates through time as a testament to the rhythm of work and rest established by the Creator himself. By the 7th day, God had completed the work he had been doing. So, on the 7th day, he rested from all his work. He took a rest from all the work of creating that he had done. This rest is not due to tiredness, but a cessation from labor to mark the completion and perfection of his creation. And he blesses the 7th day and calls it holy, setting it apart as a day of rest and reflection. This act of blessing and sanctification establishes the 7th day as special and sacred. The 7th day signifies the completion of God's creative work. Everything that needed to be created was made, and the universe was in a state of perfect order and harmony. The process of creation, which had unfolded over 6 days, reaches its fulfillment. God's rest on the 7th day is a powerful symbol which represents a deliberate pause, a moment to reflect on and celebrate the work that has been done. This rest is not a sign of weariness, but a purposeful cessation of creative activity, marking the transition from creation to enjoyment and appreciation of what has been created. God blesses the 7th day and declares it holy. This blessing imbues the day with special significance, distinguishing it from the other days. By sanctifying the 7th day, God establishes it as a perpetual reminder of the Creator's work and the importance of rest and reflection. This particular day can be said to symbolize the completion and perfection of creation. It marks the moment when the universe, in its entirety, is deemed complete and very good. This perfection reflects the Creator's meticulous and purposeful design. God's rest sets a divine example for humanity that underscores the importance of rest in our lives, not merely as a physical necessity, but as a spiritual practice. Rest allows us to pause, reflect, and appreciate the work we have done, fostering a sense of fulfillment and gratitude. The sanctification of the 7th day introduces the concept of sacred time. It teaches us that time itself can be holy and set apart for special purposes. Observing a day of rest becomes a spiritual discipline that reconnects us with the Creator and His creation. The establishment of a day of rest creates a natural rhythm of work and rest. This rhythm is essential for human well-being, promoting balance in our lives. It encourages us to work diligently and rest intentionally, recognizing that both are integral to a healthy, productive life. Day 7 invites deep reflection on the act of creation. It encourages us to consider the beauty, complexity, and interdependence of the natural world. This reflection fosters a sense of gratitude for the Creator's work and our place within it. The act of resting on the 7th day is also an act of worship. It acknowledges God's sovereignty and creativity, allowing us to honor Him by following His example. Rest becomes a form of reverence and celebration of God's handiwork. Day 7 of the creation story is a profound conclusion to the creation narrative. It highlights the importance of rest, the sanctity of time, and the rhythm of work and rest. This day teaches us to value completion, reflect on our achievements, and find spiritual renewal in the practice of rest. It calls us to a deeper appreciation of the Creator's work and invites us to participate in the divine rhythm of creation and rest. When we look at how God began to create in the beginning, there was nothing. No swirling galaxies, no vibrant life, just a vast emptiness. But within this void resided a powerful and loving Creator, a force often referred to as the divine artist. This artist didn't crave emptiness. A desire for creation burned brightly. Dear divine artist, we stand in awe of your creative impulse. Thank you for not leaving the universe a canvas of void. Grant us a deeper appreciation for the wonders you've brought into existence. With a thought, or perhaps a word, the artist spoke light into being. Darkness retreated, and the first rays pierced the emptiness, bathing it in a glorious dawn. This was on the first day, a day of pure potential. Divine artist, as you brought light into the world, guide our steps. Help us to see through challenges and confusion, and illuminate our path towards a brighter future. You then separated the light from the darkness, creating day and night, a rhythm that would define time itself. This was the 2nd day, a day of structure and order. Dear divine artist, you established the balance of light and darkness. Help us find harmony in our own lives. Grant us the wisdom to recognize when to push forward with action and when to find solace in rest. Just as on the 3rd day, You sculpted the formless expanse, creating land and separating it from the vast waters. Lush greenery erupted from the newly formed earth, a vibrant tapestry of life. This was the day of flourishing, a day of growth and abundance. We marvel at the beauty and bounty of the natural world you created. Help us to be responsible stewards of your creation. The sky was filled with luminous bodies, the sun and moon to govern day and night. Stars, like a million tiny brushstrokes, scattered across the canvas of the cosmos. This was the fourth day, a day of celestial wonder. As we gaze upon the vastness of the universe, fill us with awe. May your creation inspire us to reach for the stars and achieve the seemingly impossible. Dear divine artist, you created a world teeming with life. Help us to respect all creatures, great and small, and to live in harmony with nature. You created us in your image. Help us to live up to our potential, to use our gifts wisely, and to fulfill the purpose for which we were created. You rested on the seventh day, not out of exhaustion, but to show the importance of reflection and renewal. Divine artist, as you found peace in your rest, grant us moments of quiet contemplation. Help us to find renewal and strength to continue our journeys. Dear listener, this creation story serves as a reminder of the immense power and love of the divine artist. It's a story that inspires awe, gratitude, and a sense of responsibility for the world we inhabit. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe for more. Your feedback is valuable, so feel free to share your thoughts in the comments section. Don't forget to hit the like button and share this video with others who might find it helpful.